research process. So we will be discussing what is the systematic method in conducting nursing research. First and foremost, we have what we call the nursing care process. And we have an acronym for this one. We have what we call the ADPI. We have assessment, diagnosis, planning, implementation, and evaluation. But in research, there are also 5 processes. But this time, our acronym, we have what we call CDED. Conceptual, design, empirical, analytic, and dissemination. So let's tackle first the first phase of nursing process, and that is what we call the conceptual phase. The first step in conducting any research study is what we call formulating or delimiting a research problem. When you say research problem, it is a perplexing situation in research. So let's talk about how to conduct, or what are the sources of the research problem. We have what we call our acronym, ELIT. Again, our acronym for the sources of the problem is ELIT. Letter E stands for experiences, L stands for literature, T stands for theories, I stands for issues, and letter E stands for external sources. Again, we have what we call experiences, literature, issues, theories, and the last one, external sources. So these are the sources of research problem. Another concept in conducting research problem, what are the criteria or the important characteristics of your research problem? Number one, it should be significant. Significance of the study. When you say your problem is significant, your problem is can improve the quality nursing care. Another, it is not only significant, your problem should also be feasible. When you say feasibility, it is the availability of the resources. Another, your research should be researchable or researchability. Another, your research should be in the area of interest of the researchers. And the last one, your problem should be novelty. It means originality of your research problem. So these are what we call the criteria in choosing a good research problem. So again, the first step in conceptual phase, we have what we call formulating a researchable problem. Next, the second step, we have what we call reviewing of related literature. When you say literature, it is used in order for the researchers to know the gap between the existing knowledge and the non-existing knowledge. So in order for the researchers to know what are the research or what are the needed researches for his study. Literature is divided into 2 types of sources. We have what we call primary source, and the other one is the secondary source. When you say primary source, these are the sources or the researches, literature, coming from the original work of the researcher. When you say secondary source, it came from other works other than the researcher. For example, I am conducting a research, and I got my literature from a professor, from a teacher, from a classmate, and that is what we call a secondary source. And then another example, for example, I am conducting a research, and then I use my original research when I did my undergraduate studies, and that is what we call the primary sources. So that is what we call reviewing of related literature. Next, the third step, we have what we call developing a framework. Framework is what we call the overall underpinning of your study. And framework is subdivided into 2 types. We have what we call the conceptual framework, and the other one is the theoretical framework. When you say theoretical framework, it came from one existing theory, while conceptual framework, it is based on multiple theories. When you were asked during your examination, which among the 2 types of framework is more general? The more general is the theoretical framework than your conceptual framework. Next, a second framework, we have what we call also the definition of terms. The definition of terms, this is a simple mini dictionary in your research. So definition of terms, it can be conceptual definition, it can also be operational definition. When you say conceptual definition, from the word conceptual, copy. Your definition of terms were copied by some literatures or by some books. When you say operational definition, operational. It is own definition. It is the definition coming from the researcher himself or herself. So that is what we call the third step. We have what we call developing framework and the definition of terms. The last step in conceptual phase, we have what we call your formulating hypothesis. When you say hypothesis, it is an educated guess. But in research, hypothesis, it predicts relationship. So when you see a statement in your research, for example, there is a significant relationship between the two variables. There is no significant relationship between the two variables. That is what we call hypothesis. Always remember, hypothesis is not yet proven, because hypothesis is just an educated guess. But hypothesis, it can already states relationship. Okay. Next, another. So, aside from hypothesis, these are what we call the 4 steps in conceptual phase. So again, to recap, what is the 4 steps in conceptual phase? Number 1, formulating a research problem. Number 2, reviewing of related literature. Number 3, developing the framework. And the last one, formulating hypothesis. Okay, next, let's proceed to the second phase. And that is what we call your design and planning phase. When you say design and planning phase, it is usually termed as the research methodology in your study. So what are the steps included in your research methodology? The first step, we have what we call selecting your research design. When you say research design, this is most probably the types of your research. So for example, you want to conduct a research based on lived experiences. So more or less, you'll be conducting phenomenological research, and that is qualitative research. Another, for example, I am a researcher and I want to investigate the traditions, the cultural beliefs of a certain ethnic groups in our community. So I will choose what type of research design. I will choose ethnographical research because I want to focus more on cultures or cultural practices of my participants. That is what we call selecting research design. Next, another. Aside from selecting research design, so you need to know who are your participants. But in order for you to know your participants, you need to first identify the population. So when you say population, this is the aggregate of all cases. For example, I want to study the caring behaviors of Filipino nurses. So when you say Filipino nurses, there are Filipino nurses in the Philippines. There are Filipino nurses in America. There's also Filipino nurses in Middle East. So in other words, there are many Filipino nurses that you want to conduct research on your study. So in other words, in order for you to be accessible, to be more convenient on your research, you need to identify a sampling method. So this is what we call your sampling techniques. Okay. So when you say sampling techniques, this is what we call the sampling techniques is the process of selecting a portion, just a portion of your population. Okay, for example, I want to study all the Filipino nurses, but my sampling technique, I want to study Filipino nurses in Metro Manila. So this is more convenient rather than the whole population. And that is what we call your sampling technique. Okay, so again to recap, the aggregatable cases, that is what we call your population. The process of selecting is what we call your sampling method. And what do you call the subset of the population? And that is what we call your sample size. Okay, so we discussed already the different types of sampling techniques. This is divided into 2 types. We have what we call the probability and the non-probability sampling technique. When you say probability, there is randomization. There is no selection bias. When you say non-probability, there is no randomization. Thus, there is bias in your research. So what are the different types of probability sampling technique? Number 1, we have what we call your simple random, and that is what we call your fishbowl method. The other one is a stratified random sampling technique. There is strata, there is subgrouping, there is homogeneous subgrouping. Next, the third one is a cluster sampling technique. So this is what we call the multi-staging. The fourth one is the systematic sampling technique. This is what we call the every nth, every fifth, every third, every 10th, every 12th, and so on and so forth. Okay, next, what are the different types of non-probability sampling technique? The first one, we have what we call your convenient sampling technique. When you say convenient, this is accessible. This is the participants who are available during the time of your study. The second one, we have what we call your purposive sampling technique. When you say purposive, purpose, there is a criteria. That is why purposive is also known as your multi-stage sampling technique. The third one, we have what we call your quota. From the word quota, there is a target number in your participants. And the last one, we have what we call your snowball sampling technique. Snowballing, it means networking. It means chain. There is referral system in your selecting your participants. So this is what we call your sampling techniques. Okay, so then to recap, so far, what are the 3 steps in under design and planning phase? Number 1, we have what we call selecting research design. Number 2, we have identifying the population. Number 3, we have what we call your selecting sampling technique. Okay, so in other words, you have now your design, you have now your population, you have now your participants. So in order for you to move on to the collecting of data, you need first to identify what is the method or what is the instrument that you need to use in order to collect your data. And that is the 4th step, selecting a research instrument. Okay, again, when you say selecting a research instrument, these are the tools, these are the methods in order for you to collect data. For example, questionnaire. Survey questionnaire is the most frequently used tool in collecting the data. After questionnaire, we have what we call your interview. Interview is the secondly most common use, but interview is more on subjective data. This is more on qualitative data or qualitative research if you utilize interview in your research. Okay, so let's talk about what are the criteria or what are the important things that you need to consider in selecting your research instrument. Number 1, we have what we call your practicality use of the instrument. When you say practicality, it should be economous. It should be based on the availability of your instrument. That's practicality. Okay. For example, the participants are all illiterate. Illiterate, no read, no write. So in other words, what is more practical to use? What type of instrument? Questionnaire, interview. So much more practical is the interview, because your participants are no read, no write. Okay, another, you don't have enough budget for your research. What is more practical to use? Interview, questionnaire. Very good. We have what we call your interview rather, no? Because you don't have enough budget, you don't need to produce paper, the printouts, so you will now utilize an interview method. Okay, another, aside from practicality, number 2, we have what we call your reliability. When you say reliability, always remember the word consistency, because reliability is the consistency of results. Okay, another, the most important thing that you need to consider in selecting your instrument, we have what we call your validity. Because when you say validity, this is it measures what it is supposed to measure. That is what we call your validity. Another important thing, we have what we call your credibility. When you say credibility, this is the confidence in the truth of your data. So how can you say that your research is credible if the researcher is confident that the data represent the truth? Another criteria, we have what we call your dependability. When you say dependability, this is what we call the stability of your data. Another, we have what we call your confirmability, and that is what we call the objectivity of your data. And the last one, we have what we call your transferability. Transferability means your research, your findings can be transferred, can be shown to other settings. So that is what we call the criteria that you need to consider in selecting your research instrument. To recap, number 1, we have what we call your practicality. Number 2, we have what we call your reliability. Number 3, we have what we call your validity. Number 4, we have what we call your credibility. Number 5, we have what we call your dependability. Number 6, we have what we call your confirmability. And the last one, we have what we call your transferability. Okay, next another. After selecting your research instrument, my question is, can you now utilize your instrument to collect the data? Of course not. Of course no, not yet, because you need to test your instrument first. You need to do a pilot test or a pilot study. Because why? Because pilot study is done in order for you to know if your research instrument is effective. Because we want to know the effectiveness of your research instrument. That's why researchers are conducting pilot study. Okay, next, another. So that is what we call your design and planning phase. Again, to recap, what are the steps under design and planning phase? Number one, we have what we call your selecting research design. Number two, we have what we call your identifying the population. Number three, we have what we call selecting sampling technique. Number four, we have what we call your selecting research instrument or your tool. And the last one, we have what we call your conducting a pilot study. Next, another, let's proceed. The third phase, and that is what we call your empirical phase, or what we call your implementation phase. So there are only two steps under empirical. Number one, we have what we call your collecting your data. And after collecting the data, you now need to prepare the data for analysis. As these are only the two steps under empirical phase. Number one, collecting the data, and number two, preparing the data for analysis. Okay, next question. If we already prepared the data for analysis, can you now analyze the data? Yes. So let's now proceed to the fourth process, and that is what we call your analytic phase. So when you say analytic phase, the first step that you need to do here, you need to analyze the data. You can analyze the data if you will use statistics, if that is quantitative research, and you will now use narrative analysis if that is qualitative research. Okay, next, another. After analyzing the data, this is the time that you need to interpret the results. So the two steps under analytic phase. Number one, we have what we call analyzing the data, and number two, we have what we call interpreting the results. Okay, let's proceed to the last phase, and that is what we call your dissemination phase. So there are only two, again, steps under dissemination phase. Number one, you need to communicate your findings through research presentation, through publication, through poster presentations, oral presentations, through thesis, through dissertations. And after you have communicated the findings, the last step in any research study is utilizing the results in order for your research to become evidence-based practice. So again, to recap, what are the 5 phases under research? Number one, conceptual phase. Number two, design and planning phase. Number three, empirical phase. Number four, analytic phase. And the last one, dissemination phase. So what are the steps under conceptual? Number one, formulating a problem. Number two, reviewing of related literature, or the RRL. Number three, developing a framework. And the last one, formulating hypothesis. What are the steps under design and planning phase? Number one, we have what we call your selecting research design. Number two, we have what we call your identifying the population. Next, selecting sampling techniques. Next, selecting research instrument. And the last one, conducting a pilot study. So again, what are the steps under empirical phase? We have what we call collecting data, and the last one, preparing the data for analysis. So what are the steps under analytic phase? We have what we call your analyzing the data and interpreting the results. And the last one, what are the steps under dissemination phase? Number one, we have what we call your communicating the findings, and the last one, utilizing the results. So that's all. That's the process of the research. Our acronym, we have what we call CDET.